Greetings to all the viewers. The session is going to discuss regarding the epoxidation process. So we are conducting sessions based on organic named reactions. In continuation to that one, alphabetical order is followed in order to describe all the organic named reactions given by the eminent scientist in the field of organic chemistry. So in that continuation, we entered into the next level called the epoxidation. Right, so earlier concepts and earlier sessions all are available at World of Conceptual and Competitive Chemistry. In addition, we also already gone through intermediate 10th class engineering chemistry, environmental chemistry, graduation, post graduation level, conceptual based content, academic based content, research based content, competitive examination based content, all are available at the channel World of Conceptual and Competitive Chemistry. This is the content. Epoxidation was taken from the textbook of organic named reactions written by Dr. Kavita Kothireddy Kota. Let me describe epoxidation process. Epoxidation meant for whenever alkene was taken and that is transformed into epoxide, IUPAC nomenclature called oxirane, by introducing oxygen atom across the double bond. The process is called epoxidation. Whenever olefinic double bond is added with nascent oxygen, oxygen is introduced in between these two carbon atoms so that it is forming a three-membered ring system which is called a epoxide. Oxirane is the name, exact name for that compound. Epoxide is the common name. That is called epoxidation. Introducing epoxide upon this double bonded compound, olefinic compound, is called epoxidation process. In order to get this one, we need nascent oxygen, that is oxidizing agent. So peroxides or peracids are better reagents which are hyperreactive to release one of the oxygen, so that double bonded olefin will be simply added with this oxygen and giving rise to three-membered oxygen containing saturated ring system which is called epoxide. Whenever you are taking this cyclohexene and treated with metachloroperbenzoic acid, this is the suitable reagent for this epoxidation process. Metachloroperbenzoic acid is super reactive to release this nascent oxygen, and moreover it is going to react with the olefinic double bond and you are getting a epoxide over the double bond containing carbon atoms. That is called the epoxidation of cyclohexene, and there is a formation of epoxide fused ring system. So initially only one cyclic saturated ring was there. Now it is joined with another three members, so that fused system got established. So this is another example pertaining with epoxidation. The simple orientation is provided when you are taking double bond in between these carbon atoms like dimethyl, we can say 2,3 dimethyl 2-butene. Exact IUPAC nomenclature for the compound will be at the second position we have methyl, third position methyl. 2,3 dimethyl butene could be the starting material, treated with metachloroperbenzoic acid in specific. So double bond is supposed to be epoxidized and there is a formation of oxygen atom in between the two carbon atoms where olefin linkage was there, and there is the epoxide formation taken. So this is the simplest example pertaining with epoxidation process. I am taking another molecule. This is somewhat smaller in nature, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon containing chain only. Here also 4 carbons, but 2 more methyl substitutions branching is there. But this is some still smaller molecule. You can notice it is the kind of isobutene. Isobutene, whenever treated with paracetic acid, this is called paracetic acid. Again it is reactive, hyperreactive to release one of the oxygen. Being oxygen-oxygen peroxy linkage adjacent is more repulsive. That's the reason why immediately one of the oxygen is spelled out and that oxygen is going to react with the olefinic carbon atom, so that epoxidation taken like this. So wherever functional groups side chains are present, we are not supposed to disturb anything, rather only double bond is our focus to add the oxygen, giving rise to epoxide as the final product. This is the way epoxidation taken place. And this is another molecule. You notice here is the double bond, here is the double bond. whenever this is the condition. And this is tertiary butyl, I think 1 2 3 4 4 carbons, tertiary butyl peracid was taken over there. So whenever this is the case taken, so instead of this open chain molecule, this kind of molecule, this kind of double bond is supposed to go for this epoxidation process in the presence of titanium based catalyst, titanium tetrachloride you may take. So here the epoxidation taken, this is stereo selective in nature. So instead of this open chain one, this position is more susceptible to go for the epoxidation process. So these many examples we gone through. In order to perform this epoxidation process, what could be the common oxidizing agents? Which reagent is suitable for this one? Paracids are suitable. Metachloroperbenzoic acid is the best example. Peracetic acid, just to be gone through. This is called peracetic acid. Sorry. Dioxyranes, another kind of oxygenated molecules which are suitable for the epoxidation. Halohydrin method via intramolecular nucleophilic substitution process, this is also suitable for epoxide formation. Sharpless epoxidation is the most relevant named reaction suitable for epoxidation, and Sharpless is the eminent scientist. He got established the unique way of epoxidation process in terms of asymmetric epoxidation process, so that for his tremendous relentless efforts he got laureated with the Nobel Prize. Sharpless is the scientist laureated with the Nobel Prize. Sharpless epoxidation is the another example regarding this epoxidation process. It is also regarded as asymmetric epoxidation of allylic alcohols, more susceptible for allylic alcohol. These are the specific distinguished starting material in order to perform Sharpless epoxidation. If you are thinking about epoxidation, how could be the mechanism? How can we get open chain molecule got converted into a kind of ring system, and moreover with the oxygen containing 3-membered ring generated? How the mechanism taken? In order to understand well, it could be the concerted mechanism. So there is no exact pathway in order to represent the entire mechanism. Rather, it is taken within the short span of time simultaneously. Butterfly-like transition state, always concerted mechanism is accompanied by the transition state. Transition state is nothing but hypothetical only. Just it may be following this kind of pathway. That assumption we will make. So butterfly-like a transition state is the kind of concerted mechanism it is following for this epoxidation process. No rearrangement taken place. It is more stereo specific in nature. Most suitable compound is generated over there. Scene adhesion taken place. Scene adhesion meant for, so if you are taking a double bond in one direction, for example double bond is oriented like this, so this is called right hand side, this is called a left hand side. So here scene adhesion is nothing but only if you are adding that kind of oxygen from one phase, one side only, this side only you are going to add. This is called scene adhesion. Both the carbon atoms are added with one side direction. Addition taking place from the one side direction, that is called scene adhesion. Trans adhesion is nothing but, so one of the atom added from the right hand side, another atom added from the left hand side, that is called trans adhesion. Scene adhesion means for both the atoms, both the bonds are generated at the same side of the double bond plane, that is called scene adhesion. Both oxygen and hydrogen added in the same phase. Right, this is the mechanism explanation regarding this epoxidation process. In order to understand the well manner of the what mechanism of this epoxidation, I am taking olefinic compound, carbon-carbon double bond was taken, and here is the paracid. I am taking RC double bond, OH will be the kind of oxidizing agent is present. So oxygen both are adjacent. Moreover, oxygen with two lone pairs, oxygen with two lone pairs, both are two lone pair electrons, so that lone pair repulsions got dominated. Whenever repulsions are dominated, obviously one of the atom should be coming out, that oxygen whenever released from the system, and that is taking part of the reaction with this olefinic double bond. Being olefinic double bond is electron rich, nucleophilic in nature, that's the reason why it able to bind up with the one oxygen over there. So whenever bonding between the oxygen to carbon atom taking place, in either oxygen is losing electrons experienced with the positive charge, electrophilicity will be there, electrons lost by this adjacent carbon atoms. Okay, so this oxygen came from paracid only, so oxygen came from paracid only, right? So what it will do now, the lone pair of electrons and the oxygen will take part with this second carbon atom, and it used to give the bonding electrons between the oxygen to carbon, so that you are establishing the kind of carbon to carbon bond already there, carbon to oxygen, oxygen to carbon, this kind of three-membered ring system newly established. So one of the bond given from the carbon atom, another new sigma bond is given from the oxygen atom. So this is about the entire process of epoxidation process. So ultimately, whichever paracid we are taking, that subsequently turned into carboxylic acid byproduct. This is regarding the entire mechanism, detailed mechanism pertaining with that epoxidation of alkene with paracid. During these reactions, retains a cis-trans configuration of alkene. Retention of the configuration takes place if initial alkene is cis, final epoxide is also cis. Initial one is trans, final product is also trans. This is the way retention of the configuration is the most important thing taken by this epoxidation process. We are not changing the stereochemistry of starting material and converted into the product. Highly stereospecific, where the requisite functional group of epoxide should be generated, there only it is specifically going to bind up, there only there is a product formation. So these are the key features regarding the epoxidation process. So retention of the configuration is the one important criteria. Highly stereospecific in nature, where the requisite the position is there, there only epoxidation taken place. Important variants in this epoxidation will be Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. It is the tremendous named reaction. So Sharpless is the scientist who established this named reaction over there. Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation is the process. Eminent scientist who introduced the unique reaction over there. We will discuss regarding the Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation in detail whenever that S alphabetical order, being we are going with the named reaction in the alphabetical order, the specific Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation taken as one of the topic. So being it is named reaction only, so in detail discussion is taken in that continuity, alphabetical order continuity only. So here the reagent for Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation, that is a titanium tetraisopropoxide, tertiary butyl hydroperoxide could be the another reagent, chiral tartarate ester. So these three reagents together, these three reagents are the most important in order to perform this Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Titanium isopropoxide, tertiary butyl hydroperoxide, chiral tartarate ester could be the three important distinguishable reagents for this Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Allylic alcohols are more selective for this kind of epoxidation process, and enantiomer selectivity is the most important thing retained by this Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation, right? That process of Sharpless epoxidation is provided, but entire specific content, specific discussion taken in the alphabetical order at a Sharpless epoxidation in the S alphabetical order, right? Here anyway you can see this Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation process, I am taking allylic alcohol. Allylic alcohol means what? With respect to the carbon containing hydroxy, if you are having next position double bond, that is called allylic position. If that allylic position is having double bond, allylic alcohol could be the name of the compound. Allylic alcohol taken in the one plane, above plane, below plane, two possibilities we have. If we are taking, already you are aware that the reagents for this sharpless asymmetric epoxidation will be, one is diethyl tartarate, that will be optically active. There are two probable compounds diethyl tartarate. One is this is levorotatory. Negative sign indicates levorotatory, positive sign indicates dextrorotatory. Diethyl tartarate will be taken. Negatively signed, that means levorotatory diethyl tartarate is more specific for the attack from the top phase. So oxygen arrives from the above of the plane. This is called the enantioselective epoxidation process, right? So more specifically, this kind of epoxidation taken, moreover it is the asymmetric epoxidation, right? So being it is the kind of chiral molecule, and it is levorotatory one. Levorotatory one is more specific to attack the olefinic double bond from the top edge. So above the plane, this oxygen attachment taken starting with this negative diethyl tartarate. If the reaction is added with the positive diethyl tartarate, that is nothing but dextrorotatory. Oxygen attachment taken from the bottom phase. Oxygen attachment taken, so that if first one is the case, levorotatory diethyl tartarate added to this allylic alcohol, the product could be the oxygen epoxidation, where the oxygen added at the above phase of this olefinic double bond, and whenever positively, that means dextrorotatory diethyl tartarate is added from the bottom phase, this epoxide is generated at the below phase epoxide. So if you compare this above phase epoxide and below phase epoxide, both are said to be what? Enantiomers. So one is dextrorotatory, one is levorotatory, and other is dextrorotatory. Being it is retention of the configuration is the criteria for epoxidation, so that mixture of compounds are said to be enantiomers. So these two are said to be both are enantiomers. This is the way a kind of epoxidation is selective with the selective reagent. This is regarding the sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Let me go for this double bond. This double bond which is in connection with the CH2OH. CH2OH, this entire group is called allylic alcohol. This is our focused region, and leave the entire other fragment. Whatever the complexity of molecule, according to our reaction, we supposed to focus upon the requisite functional group for that named reaction. For epoxidation, for asymmetric epoxidation is specific. For sharpless asymmetric epoxidation, our requisite composition will be allylic alcohol. This allylic alcohol is treated with this tertiary butyl parahydroxide, and titanium isopropoxide will be taken. Minus DET is the condition. Minus levorotatory diethyl tartarate, so that epoxidation taken like this, and 97.5% yield will be generated over there. So this is highly stereospecific in nature. If you want to understand the mechanism of this reaction, whenever allylic alcohol is the case taken, here the phase whichever taken from the top side is called C facial, bottom side phase of the double bond is called a refacial. So here that SS diethyl tartarate minus diethyl tartarate is the reagent added that is specific for the attachment from the C facial attachment. S for S, you can notice psi phase is suitable with the SS diethyl tartarate, so that here the epoxide generated from above side, you can notice the epoxide is top edge. Here RR diethyl tartarate, that is suitable for rephase attachment. R for R, simple to understand, simple to remember as well, right? So here R comma R absolute configuration, it will be RS notations, everybody aware about, being chemistry domain people are most familiar with RS notations, right? RR diethyl tartarate is the case that is simply indicated as plus diethyl tartarate. So here this is more suitable for the attachment for the refacial, and here you can notice the epoxide at the below phase, right? So here the above phase is possible with SS, below phase is possible with RR diethyl tartarate. This is the way shortless asymmetric epoxidation is more specific with the kind of diethyl tartarate what we are choosing, that drives to the final product stereochemistry. Here so many examples you noticed related with the same sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Again it is the part of allylic alcohol only. This is only the consideration for your reaction for the epoxidation. We are not disturbing hydroxy functional group, only our requisite functional group is double bond only, but allylic alcohol is more suitable reagent, more suitable starting material for sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Titanium tetraisopropoxide will be taken plus dimethyl tartarate. You need to remember what reagent is added. Plus dimethyl tartarate always gives rise to below of the plane product, so that you can notice the dotted line bond over there. So here the epoxidation taken like this, and the dotted line bond means below of the plane epoxide will be generated. This is the kind of example pertaining with sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Another example is also given where is the, here you can notice allylic alcohol. Allylic alcohol having another methyl functionality over there. Titanium tetraisopropoxide, and here the reagent is minus diethyl tartarate. If minus reagent was taken, you saw the difference. Minus indicated for that for this thick line wedge bond. So here wedge bond generation taken place, and that is more specifically stereo specific in nature. This is regarding the sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. Plus sign indicated with the below side epoxidation, minus sign diethyl tartarate indicated for the wedge bond epoxide toward the above plane. Above the plane epoxide could be generated. I am taking another allyl alcohol. Whatever side chain is there, we need not to disturb that one. Only our requirement is this allylic alcohol only, and same ambient temperature, ambient conditions, same we are going to adopt. If this is the case, plus diethyl tartarate if taken. So being this ester functionality whichever present will direct the incoming epoxide from the bottom edge, and this kind of product formation you noticed. And this is the longer chain. Here we are having what allylic alcohol, and another side chain is having C10H19 longer hydrocarbon chain will be there, and same sharpless epoxidation condition is going to be applied. And minus diethyl tartarate is the reagent. Plus diethyl tartarate obviously go with the bottom side attachment of epoxide. Minus diethyl tartarate meant for this epoxide generation from the top side. So here the wedge bond indicated for the top side of the double bond, top side of the plane. So this is the way a kind of product will depends upon the type of reagent you are adding, right? So their common names also mentioned over there. So in the first one, whatever generated, this epoxide is named as methymycin. Methymycin is the name of this compound, and second epoxide whichever generated from this this allylic alcohol is called erythromycin. Erythromycin is the kind of antibiotic, right? So erythromycin, threomycin, everything will be there. These are the kind of antibiotics. Here another one you noticed here is the kind of epoxide. It will be leukotriene C1. So it is also a kind of commercially available medicine only. These many established medical compounds are generated starting with sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. That's the reason if any kind of reaction is having a distinct application in the field of medicine, in the field anywhere, if you are applying, if it is useful to the mankind, you can notice that that reaction is more important, more applicable, most significant in nature. That's the reason why these many compounds which was synthesized by means of sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. That's the reason why you have to understand whatever the reaction we are choosing is most significant for the observation, right? So these many applications, these many examples pertaining with the application purview is also manifested for sharpless asymmetric epoxidation process. And another variation you can notice, Jacobson epoxidation. Jacobson is the another scientist who also performed the epoxidation process only, but the path chosen was different. Here manganese silane catalyst is the distinguishing catalyst for this Jacobson epoxidation process. Manganese silane kind of catalyst is a selective one. Non-functionalized alkenes, it is more suitable. Alkenes, always alkenes only go with the epoxidation process without any doubt, but the non-functionalized alkenes are more suitable for the Jacobson epoxidation process. So if you are taking this kind of alkene could be the starting material anyway. Whenever it is supposed to be treated with this kind of manganese silane catalyst, the catalyst is somewhat larger, bulkier in nature. You noticed this is having the kind of coordination complex with this manganese, so it is the organometallic complex compound. Simply you can remember this complex as a manganese silane complex. Whenever this is going to be added over the olefinic double bond, there is a provision for the double bond epoxidation over the above the plane and below the plane as well. So how can we understand above plane epoxidation and below plane epoxidation? That depends upon the stereochemistry of this chiral carbon atoms. Stereochemistry of the chiral carbon atoms are driving force for this position of the epoxide. Rephase attack or C-phase attack purely depends upon this SS configuration. SS configuration is more prevalent with the C-phase attachment and this top phase epoxide formation. rephase attachment takes place and bottom phase epoxide formation is possible. This is related with Jacobson epoxidation process. In order to understand the reaction mechanism, here the Jacobson catalyst was taken, manganese having the complicated complex structure with the linear organic chain over there. You can notice the benzene ring with the oxygen, this oxygen linking with manganese, and here the tertiary butyl, here the tertiary butyl. Here you can notice imine nitrogen that is also linking with the manganese, and that is connected with the saturated cyclohexane ring. Here again imine is there connected with this manganese, and benzene ring located over there. Here tertiary butyl, and oxygen also having linkage with the manganese. Moreover, manganese having another fifth bond, pentavalent being it is. Here you can notice chlorofunctionality. This looks like more symmetrical in nature, both the edges having similar functional groups and the top side as having this is symmetrical molecule in general. In order to avoid the ambiguity while writing this complex catalyst structure, simplified molecular representation is provided like this. Manganese having +3 oxidation state directly linked up with the 4 atoms of the ligands. One is nitrogen, oxygen. Additionally, another chlorofunctionality is also located on the manganese so that it is pentavalent in nature. So sodium oxychloride is supposed to be added, oxygen released into the system and ultimately turned into sodium chloride. That released oxygen is binding with this manganese that is activated like this. +3 is now turned into +5 oxidation state around the manganese, being whose covalence is also raised up. So this oxygenated manganese complex now going to react with this olefinic compound. So the double bond is added with the oxygen anyway, and here the product is epoxide. Epoxide will be originated and liberating the free catalyst once again, that is manganese silane compound complex. Again it is ready for the epoxidation further, so that regeneration, recycling is taking place over there anyway. Epoxidation is a most convenient pathway in this manner, which is said to be Jacobson epoxidation process. Here you can notice the applications related with the epoxidation. Why this epoxidation is more helpful in the synthetic organic chemistry. Already you are aware that sharpless asymmetric epoxidation proven for the establishment of newly introduced drugs in the market. We already gone through examples related with the drugs related with the sharpless epoxidation process. Epoxides are versatile intermediates and diols, amines, alcohols, all these compounds can be synthesized. You can start with these epoxides. Epoxides, if hydrolyzed diols, could be the products. Epoxides treated with ammonia, amine will be the product. Epoxide go for the kind of hydrolysis, there will be a kind of alcohol formation, controlled hydrolysis. This is the manner. Epoxide could be the lead intermediate compound in order to synthesize either diols, amines, alcohols as well. So many pharmaceutical compounds get synthesized by the process called epoxidation. That's why epoxidation is the important medium, important pathway for establishing pharmaceutical compounds to work like a beta blockers, antibiotics as well. Just now we gone through erythromycin. All these drugs, sharpless asymmetric epoxidation utilized for this antibiotic synthesis, right? Production of epoxy resins. Epoxy resins are having tremendous application in the polymer chemistry. They are working like a coatings and adhesives. So material chemistry as well. So like adhesives, we are coloring. We are using colors and coatings like paints and coatings will be there, no? In order to avoid the leakages, in order to avoid the corrosion, in order to give the glitterness to that wall or else any particular region. So we can use epoxy resins in general. Epoxy resins having multiple applications in the material chemistry and even in the polymer chemistry as well. So they're working like coatings and adhesives as well, like simply we can say paints, right? Asymmetric epoxidation is the tremendous one in the field of chiral auxiliaries, in the field of stereochemistry perspective. Chiral building blocks for the natural product synthesis is possible, and this may find the multiple applications in the field of synthetic organic chemistry and natural product synthesis as well, right? So this is the way a kind of drugs or medicines are synthesized, starting with the epoxidation process, being it is the kind of intermediate in order to go for multiple drug auxiliaries. Even in the industrial pathway, it is possible to synthesize epoxides. In order to synthesize the epoxides in the industrial scale, bulk scale manufacturing, so you can take alkene, ethene could be the starting material. Auto oxidation means air oxidation is supposed to be treated with that one. You need to rise the pressure of the air so that oxygenation takes place in the olefinic double bond. Silver accelerated the reaction, being it is a catalyst. Higher temperature required in order to go for this oxidation over this olefinic double bond. So the 250 degrees centigrade is the ambient suitable temperature to rise the temperature. Ultimately, you can notice that ethylene epoxide could be the final product. Silver catalyst is the driving force to achieve the final product. In order to represent the reaction in the schematic manner, there is a chemical representation provided in the stoichiometric ratio. I am taking ethylene treated with controlled oxidation, half molecule of oxygen sufficient for 1 mole of ethylene molecule. Silver is the catalyst to accelerate the rate of the reaction. 300 degrees centigrade is sufficient to achieve this epoxide. The product is ethylene epoxide. This is the way epoxidation in bulk scale synthesis is possible. Industrially viable pathway it could be. Maximum quantity of epoxides is generated in this manner. By this we concluded the session, and if you want to know about the competitive perspective of the same session, same concept in the competitive examination manner, CSIR NET gate level question is provided for the reference. Which statement is correct for the alkene epoxidation during the paracid? Simple peracid oxidation, epoxidation is going to be discussed here. Alkene anyway, it is the precursor compound. Epoxidation by means of peracid, you are performing nascent oxygen released and attached to this carbon-carbon double bond. It proceeds through the stepwise mechanism. Absolutely wrong. It is a concerted mechanism. It gives racemic mixture of cis alkenes. Racemic mixture is no way possibility, being it is not the asymmetric synthesis, rather it is the simple peracid epoxidation. Absolutely wrong. It is scene addition and stereospecific. It is the most suitable answer for the question they are asking, right? Correct statement they are asking about. Correct statement for the epoxidation using peracid. Scene addition means that from the same phase epoxidation taken place, not from the top and bottom, or else bottom and top. Rather, both the atoms are coming in the same phase. This is called a scene addition. And more stereospecific in nature. This is the right answer for the question they are asking. It requires the radical initiator. No way possibility. Radical initiator may not be required. Rather, scene addition stereospecific reaction will be the correct answer for this. Alkene epoxidation using peracids. By this, we successfully accomplished the entire session of epoxidation process. This is the part of organic named reactions. In the next session, the topic is about electrophilic halogenation process. It is the most important application oriented concept. It will be. By this, we got the informative session for the epoxidation process. Hopefully you enjoyed the session, and subscribe the channel, watch regularly, get the content in the right path, and share with your friends, make a note, and follow the channel regularly so that new content will be added every day. So it will give the right knowledge in the right direction for your success path for the chemistry journey. Thank you one and all. Signing off, Dr. Kavita Kotireddy Kota.